like that, and then you just have, like, you know what his nose reminds me of? It reminds me of those, like, really crappy felt cloths, but just in a ball. You know what I mean?
The what?
Like the really cruddy felt balls. It just has, it's really itchy. It's almost like it's wool.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just on his nose. Can you imagine petting that? It's like, I don't want my hand to be itchy after petting this dinosaur.
Oh, there we see. I think that was a textbook example. I think we're seeing Marathon's main game in action here. One great thing about the charge shot buffs, being able to charge it in the air, and generally just being more threatening since projectiles are generally, due to shield nerfs as well, just much more powerful, is that you do have to respect charge shot much more. You generally, unless you have, you know, cojones the size of grapefruits, it's going to be exceptionally difficult to not jump over a Dark Samus or Samus when they're sitting there full stage charging charge shot.
But right there, it looks like we see one of the things that's Yoshi's specialty, which is just being able to play such a huge mix-up, and it can even be completely unintentional. Just because Yoshi has such a strange flutter jump and his up special is just throwing an egg, just gives him a little extra height. Mm-hmm. I think one of the reasons Yoshi is so hard to deal with in a lot of fights is because he's very hard to predict in that sense. You know, you're fighting most other characters and you can think they got their jump, but then you don't expect characters like Yoshi, which are able to just float across the entire stage with one jump. It just adds an extra level of complexity that Yoshi has over other fighters.
Yeah, and I think a big part of understanding how to play against Yoshi is understanding the fact that he has very complex angles he can come in at. So a lot of the time, and he can cover a lot of those. So for instance, you'll probably see Relwrd here at some point use an egg toss to Nair. So he'll throw, and Mario has a similar thing, fireball to Nair.
Right.
It's basically a bridge. They'll buffer, or it's the egg acts as a buffer so that they can land safely on your shield. So you have to kind of act preemptively against Yoshi in that respect. And for Samus, and Dark Samus especially, Yoshi is so mobile that it's hard to control space as hard as these characters like against characters that can just kind of comfortably take any range in the air.
That's pretty much it. That's why I think Marathon's going to have a very hard time on the ground this time around.
Yeah,
he's definitely going to want to stick low, to my possibility, because that's when he'll be able to get his shots, line them up perfectly, and just get all the whiffs he needs to. Because while Yoshi has a lot of mix-up potential, I think the moment Yoshi has a few whiffs, things are going to get... Oh, and a star KO on Relwrd here. Relwrd? Relwrd?
Yeah, Relwrd.
Relwrd? Relwrd.
He's like, okay, let's...
Speaking of which, do we want to YouTube Relwrd? Is that what you're in the mood for right now?
YouTube Relwrd. Yeah, that's... I have a feeling that if this doesn't go so well for Relwrd, he's going to want to Relwrd. But it's still not... Oh, Yoshi's a fat little dinosaur. He's eating lots of those, I don't know, eating lots of that primordial soup. Oh, but that egg and that air dodge didn't give him quite the height that he needed, like pixels away from being able to...
And that's where I was talking about Samus, or Dark Samus in this instance, having a lot of ground game. Is it's very important to kind of stay low against Yoshi, because that will keep them from, you know, getting tossed around in the air, especially by Yoshi, whose air superiority is almost unrivaled. And
that's a very good point as well, that Samus does not have the best disadvantage state. Mm-hmm. So she's definitely, again, her floatiness makes it a little easier on her, but Yoshi's so mobile in the air that makes it a little easier to kind of chase that floatiness. But anyway, coming on hot with that neutral air off the platform, but Relwrd responding with a good string, but Marathon says no, getting that buffered up air out just in time to...
I think this is going to be a real big challenge for Dark Samus here, Marathon, just because... Oh, Yoshi had super armor on that float? It looks like it just...
Yes, so on his double jump, he does have super armor.
How about that? But I think it's going to be harder. This was a very good counter pick on Relwrd's choice, just because there's so much platform potential. The moment Marathon gets knocked up in the air, goes anywhere, Relwrd can just start stringing combos the moment he sees an error. See right here, Marathon's going to be doing a lot of low recoveries in this game. I think the vertical recovery is just not there. The eggs can beat out pretty much all the missiles, and you need a fully charged charge shot, which if you're taking too long already, it's just not going to work. Good punish there by the grab. Ooh, he missed the back air.
you know, going for that up air, maybe anticipating some kind of, because Relwrd has, I think with that up smash, he was maybe anticipating one of Relwrd's, because Relwrd's been kind of coming in at a sort of parabolic angle, kind of like almost a straight line right above Marathon, so I think maybe that was in anticipation of that. But doing a ledge hop forward air, kind of the Samus special there to say, get off me on the ledge, but Relwrd holding shield, good patience, and letting him know that he's not going to accept that, and tries to get that up B out of shield and lands on the bottom platform. That might have thrown Relwrd off hitting onto the top platform, but I don't know. Normally that is pretty safe against characters that don't have quite the aerial, the drift that Yoshi does, so he was able to catch him in time. But that Nair shield poking, that was, and another Nair.
Solid Nair. I think there's something about Samus's Nair, you know. It's interesting because, you know, the character is known for having its missiles, its charge shots, it plays a crazy range game, and then you just hop, you know, into a Nair, which is, you know, there's no move inspiration that you have from Dark Samus. It's just, I'm going to hop and kick forward a little bit. You know, it's interesting. I'm noticing Marathon not using a lot of morph bombs in this fight.
On the ground?
On the ground, and even trying to recover.
Ooh, second time he's gotten Relwrd with that Nair.
Can we make it 3?
Oh, Orlando, by the way, it's the score thing is 1-0.
So didn't quite get the spike on that, reading that recovery angle, but not quite.
You know, I'm also noticed Marathon's not using a lot of tether recovery this time around.
Yeah, it also very little, very few projectiles. But you know, as we discussed, I think that's largely because projectiles, especially on Battlefield, you kind of run a lot of risk taking the time to. You let Yoshi close the distance a lot when you take that time, and there's not really much of a payoff.
I think there was an extra half second on that charge shot over at the edge. Yoshi would have spiked him right down to the high heavens.
But Relwrd in kind of a scary position here against Dark Samus has quite a. Oh, it makes it up with a Nair.
Quick close. I was not expecting that.
So Relwrd's got to be happy about that. And tries to anticipate that. He knew that double jump on stage was coming, but didn't quite get it with that forward smash.
Lots of up airs. Looks like he's trying to get one up above.
So now we see Marathon. He's probably starting to get into that mode where he doesn't want to screw with Yoshi up close. So he's probably going to start trying to put some pressure down with those charge shots and maybe see if he can make some magic work.
That's what it's looking like.
Oh, and it's just
walking to the left.
And just shimmying away.
You know, like you remember the Power Rangers back in the day when they're just walking away from the explosion?
Yes.
That's exactly what Dark Samus was doing right there. Trying to add that extra level of intimidation. I think Relwrd's starting to play. Oh.
And not quite. Maybe an up. I don't know if an up smash. That is it. So Relwrd's got to be pretty pleased about that. That was definitely. That was being up 70 on your last stock against Dark Samus is no fun.
I think Battlefield was definitely the superior choice there. It added just so much combo potential for Yoshi's up airs that he could just start hitting him right onto the stage and jab, essentially doing a mid-air jab block. What do we got next?
So Yoshi's story. So I'm guessing that.
Are we about to have a Yoshi mirror match?
Robin!
Oh, Robin! This is what you were talking about, playing the trapping characters. It seems like they're really popular this time around. Robin itself is incredibly impressive, I think.
Yes, she definitely can be, and it's going to be interesting to see how Yoshi deals with that because again, Robin is an excellent character, and Marathon's very good at doing ground trapping. So basically, cutting off the vertical line or horizontal line of attack on the ground. But again, Yoshi is just so mobile in the air that rarely does he need to take to the ground.
And I think it's also just because whether you're using the 11 sword or the bronze sword, there's just so much. Well, ironically, the moves come out so quickly that it's easy for Yoshi to punish them because the moves will end so quickly that Yoshi can just come in and close the kill. That was impressive. That was almost a spike right there.
Yep, Yoshi with that double jump armor though, saving lives since I think he's had it since
99.
Has he always? Yeah, I think he's had it since 64. I mean, I can't say that with certainty, but I know he's at least had it since Brawl.
Definitely. Nosferatu was definitely a risky move there.
It is so demoralizing though. Oh my god, it is so demoralizing to get hit by a Nosferatu.
It is. I think it's also the most demoralizing for Robin if you ever miss it as a Robin player. Because you're like, oh, all right, here we go. I'm just going to absolutely trap this guy. And then you just see this black cloud in front of you, and you just kind of fall slowly. I think Yoshi's story is definitely going to be a big deal.
Oh, so good I think that was actually some option coverage because the down smash on Levin Sword has huge range in both directions, reading that air dodge.
It also has a double hit on that, so you have the sword hit and the sparks that roll on the ground. And I think the, and this is just what I was talking about, those platform-based stages, with Yoshi being able to just combo constantly on top of someone just about to fall on the edge there.
Yeah, and Marathon getting a little impatient here, wanting to just get Yoshi off that ledge so he can have a little bit of space to recover. But gets that Nosferatu.
There's the Nosferatu.
20, like, what was that, like 14 or 15?
Definitely looked like it.
Goes for that, so like trying to...
Oh!
Forward smash, that was... So he's turned this around quite... Relwrd, man, that was just... He was so afraid of... It seemed like he didn't know what the possibilities were there and just kind of went for what seemed like the most obvious way to get back on stage and just...
Oh!
And that's when it happens. That's when it's most demoralizing, is when you're down a stock. But hits him with the forward air that just knew that maybe Robin was going to not do anything committal and just kind of hang out and saying, nope, I'm going to come get you. Not expecting any particularly aggressive maneuvers from Relwrd, but he betrayed his expectations.
It's another annoying thing about those eggs is you can just pop them out and they'll shut down almost all of Robin's moves.
And that's the thing that's dangerous with Robin against low mobility characters. Oh, actually, I'm gonna shut up. This is
intent, yeah.
This is set point for both these players. So Relwrd hitting
a good spike.
And gets him with, was that a down smash?
I think that was an up smash, but he just got ticked by the down air there. That was impressive. You know, as someone who adores Robin, I love Fire Emblem Awakening.